Everyone, and welcome to episode number 111 of What Does This Button Do? A show about smartphones and tablets with us, Geeks on Tour. Chris.
Yeah, we're going to jump right into the quick tip this time, and then we'll back up and tell you where we are. This is about using Google Photos, because I've noticed that no matter how many people we teach, we go back and visit them later, I still see them using the native Photos app that came with their phone, even though they're using Google Photos. It's doing a backup. So that's my tip. I want you to understand that you don't have to use your native photo gallery app anymore. Here's what I'm talking about. Every phone comes with a native app for managing your photos. On Android, it's usually the gallery and it icon depending on what kind of Android you have. And on Apple, it is the Photos app. Now, if you have a Google phone, you might Photos as the native app, and that's just great.
And that's the way it is on my phone because it is a Google phone.
Right. Don't use those. Don't use them. Instead, use Google Photos. It can do everything. It can view all your photos. In fact, it views all your photos, the ones that are on the device and the ones that are in the cloud. Photos, organize photos, share photos. You can do everything. And now I want to show you. I'm going to start on.
Okay, let's see if I can get that on there for you.
In the iPhone, it's Apple Photos is the default app. This is the one that comes, and just to make it completely confusing, it's called Photos, and it uses the same colors as Google Photos does. It's flowery looking icon, and I just want to go in there to show you all the photos. Phone. Notice I start and go to, there's only about 117 photos that I can view the Apple Photos app that comes with the iPhone. If instead you use Google Photos, if I pinch the screen in Photos, if I pinch the screen, you can so easily see that I have all of my 50,000 photos. You can go back to 2005, go back to 1998, and show you in our cute little hats at our wedding.
We don't have hats on there.
I know. They're here somewhere.
There's
me.
one.
There's me in my hat.
Isn't that silly?
That's the best one. Now, this looks fast, doesn't it? But these photos do not live on this phone. I cannot see them with any app other than the Google Photos app. And I have everything available to me here. I can edit. Even though this photo is from 1998, Google Photos can edit it for me. I can share it. I can put it in an album. That's why I think to use Google Photos. And it's the same on the Android. So I'm going to my Samsung phone here. And on the Samsung, the app that comes with the phone is called Gallery. There. And if I take a look at Gallery, I'm seeing photos from yesterday, and I can go back a little ways, but only to, and there's one picture from 2016. That's it. The gallery is only showing photos on this phone. Do not use it at all. I use Google Photos. And in Google Photos, I can, and pinch again, so touchy.
There
There
you
we
go.
go. I can pinch again, and I see entire years and months, and I can grab this little thing at the side and go all the way back 1890.
You had a digital camera back in 1890.
I did. I'm pretty special, aren't I?
You have a time machine too.
So this photo is a scan of an old photo of my great-grandfather. Tools available. I can change the date. That's what I did here. And I could edit, I could share. Love Google Photos. Why use the app that comes with your phone when Google Photos is so much better? Now, how did I turn off the photos on the phone? You just go to free up space. Google Photos knows what have already been backed up to the cloud, and it can remove them from your phone and clear up that space. Right. Okay. Well, the main one is just use Google Photos. You don't have to use the app that came with your phone.
Really want to learn about Google Photos? Guess who has a book on it? I forgot to unplug something. I hear somebody else in the other room talking.
Alexa is talking to us.
Somebody is. I think it's Google Home.
Okay, so that is the tip of the week. Use the Google Photos app. You do not have to use the app that came with your phone.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
You still can, though. They coexist.
They do. Yeah, they live together.
They coexist. So you don't have to get rid of the app that came with your phone. In fact, you cannot. So.
Okay. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, Mrs. Geek. We are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad tablet? You learn about these amazing devices.
Well, we are Geeks Who Teach, and we think the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So we come up with a topic every week and do this weekly show.
And we have a new one for you this week. Chris, where are we now?
We are in Tucson, Arizona, after miles and miles of Texas.
Didn't somebody make a song about that?
And Florida and Alabama. And so 22,450 miles since our last.
Wow.
And he drove every one of those
miles. She did offer to drive.
Once. Maybe twice. I figure that he usually needs some relief through Texas, but
this time the way we did it, it wasn't too bad at all. I was fine with it.
But we are in Tucson, Arizona now, and we'll be back here in a few weeks for the escapade.
Yep.
We're headed to Phoenix.
We'll be leaving here tomorrow for Goodyear, right next to Phoenix, right? Show. We have custom Google Maps with Google Photos. Chris already talked to you about the opening tip, and we have a beginner's lesson adding photos to a map. Are we going to do that now? Boy, the wind's starting to kick out there.
Yeah, we got wind out there today.
Anyway. Okay. If you have questions during the live show here, please put them down there in the comments. I'll try and get to the comments and questions during the show. And by Wednesday afternoon, this episode should be posted on our website at thebuttonshow.com. And you can leave comments there too. So have fun. We do invite you to become a member of Geeks on Tour. You can go to our website, geeksontour.com, and click on Become a Member. Chris, adding photos to maps.
So what we're taught, if you're a traveler like we are, you gotta love maps.
And photos.
Maps and photos, right. So the best of all worlds is to put them together. And if you use Google Maps and Google Photos, it's really quite simple. Now, what I'm talking about is on this screen that you're seeing, app that you can make with Google My Maps. is on the right here. So every marker represents a place that we stopped. Using the tips that I'm going to show you today, you can click on a marker and see the photo. On the right, notice that the H marker is highlighted, and that photo about Fisherman's Corner, Corps of Engineers Park, is the picture that is associated with it. How do you do that? It's Google Photos and Google My Maps. Google Photos for your photos, and you make custom maps with Google's My Maps, then they are connected through your Google account. So it is so easy to tell the Google map to go get a photo. Now, if you've done this before, it's gotten, in my last tutorial on this, I had to show how to copy a URL of a photo, but now I'm saying that if you use Google Photos, and I will show you how. Now, what we're doing today is a little bit different. It's a little more advanced than we normally get because we're not teaching everything about My Maps. This is just about those to a map. So if you want to learn how to make the maps, there's a whole bunch of videos on our website. Most of them you need to be a member, but you can watch the first one for free. So how it works. My Maps is how you make your maps. It uses Google Maps as its foundation, and then it adds it to and the pictures. Now, on the phones, there is a separate app on Android called My Maps. It is not available on iOS. But actually, because the easiest way to create these maps is on the computer, you can view them on both Android and Apple iOS. And how? With all the lessons at geeksontour.com. You do need to be a member for that. That's what that's about. So I'm going to do a demo. Say it's a little bit more advanced than usual because I'm going to start with an already created map and just show you how to add the photos to the markers. So if you've ever made a map, then you will learn today how to add a photo to the markers. If you haven't ever made a map, then this is just hopefully going to give you ideas, a little bit about what's possible. And I hope you'll think it's so much fun that it's worth it to learn how to do the. So on the computer, I'm going to use an existing map to markers and make an entirely new map just by importing geotagged photos.
That's really so cool.
That is.
Like that.
And that's brand new.
Oh, yeah.
That's just in the last few weeks, I think, which is, I think, the motivation I had for doing this today.
Right.
And then I will show you on both Android and iOS how you, the maps that you made and the photos. All right. So I'm going to go to the computer. And first, I just want to point out that I am not using my real account for this. I'm using a dummy account because I've made so many maps that it's just too confusing. Yeah, so I'm not using my own account. And what you do, so I am already logged in, but I'm logged in as this dummy account. You go to Maps, maps.google.com. And I'm sure you've all seen this before. This is Google Maps. And it's showing us with that blue dot where we are. What we're going to do is go to My Maps. And the way you get there, Google Maps. But
watch carefully. Watch carefully.
Because also, they hide it.
Seems like they do.
You might have to search a little bit, but it's there. You click the menu, and then your places. So you're saying, I want to get to the stuff that's attached to my account, not just the raw Google map. Stuff that are your places. The custom maps is one of them. And here's the one that I already started, 2017.
Do you think they really believe that we work?
Well, my point was being as we left Fort Lauderdale, basically commuting.
Right.
We were just commuting to Arizona where we have some work to be done, the rallies. So I've already put in the markers. I'm going to show you. If I click on this marker, you see a photo. This is a photo around the block from our home. I click on this marker, and there's no photo on that one, but there should be on that one. That one is where we spent our first night parked in a Cracker Barrel.
Oh, Cracker Barrels are great for travelers because you can get dinner, and in the morning you can get breakfast. It's great.
Really? There are 2 photos. And the next stop was in Alabama at the Escapees Park called Rainbow Plantation. And we actually stayed there for 2 nights. So I put with that one. And next stop was just a Walmart for the night. And there's a photo on them. And no, maybe not there. The next stop was Thousand Trails, Lake Conroe. All right. And then our friend Frank's family ranch where he let us park. Here's one where there is no photo. And I have a photo that I want to attach. So how do you do it? First of all, there are no tools while you're just app. You have to get into edit mode. You need to go back, open in My Maps. So that's actually the application, My Maps. Now the map will look slightly different. We have the listing of the stops over here. You have some tools here. There's a lot you can do with maps. I just want to show you how. So this one right here is the rest area. Camera, add image or video. Here's why it's so easy. If you're using Google Photos, that's what your photos means. In Google My Maps, Google Photos is where your photos are. And I already put all the photos in an album called, so I can find the picture of the rest area. There it is right there. And select it. And save. Next stop, Light Motel and RV. We only stay in the classiest places. Because we didn't have hookups there. At least that's better than the rest area or the Walmart. I click on the little camera, the picture of us parked at the Coach Light Motel, and select. And save. And end it. And next comes Faywood Hot Springs.
Oh, one of our favorite spots.
And if you like hot springs, oh boy, do we recommend this place. In fact, in addition to a photo, I'm going to write a few words. Great place to soak.
Yeah, after several days on the road, I needed a good hot soak.
Hook up RV sites.
Only 30 amp for the full hookups.
Just walk to the springs.
Wow.
Okay, but now I have a photo. And it was that one right there. This was just a photo of our site.
Yeah, you don't want to be taking too many, or some clothing optional areas.
All right. Next stop, we just stopped for lunch. Friend Debbie is work camping. And here I have 2 pictures I want to add. So we'll do that. There is a picture of the place. Butterfield
Station.
Huh? Now to add another picture, and here we are. Debbie at her work camping job. That's cool. We haven't seen her in a while. Last time was in Florida. Okay, so that is adding pictures. Now notice each marker I did have to save after I added a picture, but the whole map gets saved automatically. You do not have to do any saving. But what's this down here? Instantly map. From the import menu, choose some pictures, will magically put them on the map. That. So I am done with this map. I can just close. I want to create a new map. So I'm just at Google Maps, Your Places, Maps. And I'm going to do something different here. Instead of our travels that are chronological, during our 14 years on the road, every presidential library.
And even a couple of unofficial presidential libraries.
And I have a photo album with one photo from each of the presidential libraries. And I've made sure that they are all geotagged. Took them with my phone.
GPS built in and location services turned on.
Or for the ones, we visited some of these in 2004 and 2006, before there were smartphones. I used Picasa to add the geography information, to add the latitude and longitude, the place to it. So as you just click this import photo album. This is just so cool. Now, obviously, it takes a lot of preparation. You know, I had to make sure that all these photos were in an album, did have geotag information. But if that's true, these days,
it really is.
You just click on the album, and then you still have to select the pictures one by one. They're not assuming that you want every picture. So that's Nixon's, that's Reagan's, that's, and that one is Herbert Hoover. I liked that one especially.
That was a fun one, yeah.
And that one was Lincoln, John Kennedy, Roosevelt, or George W. Bush. No, that was George Bush Sr. That one's George W. And this one is...
that was Jefferson Davis. He was the president of the Confederacy, or for some, the War of Northern Aggression.
Interesting. And look what it does.
Just like that.
Is that cool or what? Because I selected pictures, and those pictures have information, I can click on that. That's the FDR library. I can click on that one. And oh, now, yeah, I do have to edit the names. So easy to do. So Georgia State Capitol, no, this is presidential. I would need to go and edit each of their titles so that this list is accurate, but that was pretty easy. All right, so that's how you create these maps. And let me give this map a name. And save. Now I want to go to the phones. Which one am I going to do first? I'm going to do the Android first. So now on an Android, there is a My Maps app. I'm going to show that to you, but I'm not going to do much with it. So in my All Apps, I can go down and My Maps. It's the red with the map marker on it. And here, notice I do have a plus. I can create a new map, or I can edit an existing map and add another marker. You can add a line or you can add a point. I cannot select an existing one and add a photo. So you still have to do that on a computer, and most of it is a lot easier on a computer. But that is the specific My Maps app. Out the My Maps app, you just go to Google Maps and menu, your places, and note I'm logged in as the same fake account here. Same maps that we just created on the computer. Your places, and there's a bunch of stuff under your places on the Android. You need to scroll over, and there's the one that says Geeks Go to Work. Markers. You can tap on a marker. Now to see the photo, you drag up from the bottom. There's one photo, 2 photos, 3 photos, 4 photos attached to that marker. And go to another one. Swipe up the photos. And there's 3 here. Now you can do other things with this too. Once you have places on a map, if I want to go back, I can navigate there. Places on a custom map, on a My Map, and you can then your location and you can navigate there. But you can't, it's best to create these maps on a computer.
Without a doubt.
All right, that's it for the Android. To the iPhone. Only difference is that the iPhone does not have the My Maps app, but it does have Google Maps and menu. Notice I'm still logged in with the same user. There's only 3 options under your places. I can't scroll left or right here. And let's look at the presidential libraries for this one. There they are. Let's go down here. So this one is the Nixon. So if I wanted to navigate to the Nixon library, I can do that. Choose starting point, your location, and go. 700 minutes, 482 miles. Want to go?
Nope.
Nope. Been there, done that. That's it for my demo.
All right. Looks great. Want to get back to the slideshow there? All right. And you don't have the slideshow, you have the, there we go. I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/geeksontourtv. And questions. Well, I don't see any questions here. I have a couple of comments that our bandwidth is a struggle. Sound is good, but image is a bit pixelated. Yeah, I toned down the bandwidth just a little bit and it's Rick says it's a little bit better. From Victoria, got here late, but we're glad you made it. Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, well, we are here.
We are using my Verizon for the main part of the show, her Verizon for her computer on the show, and we've tried to turn everything else off, and I even have an external antenna with an amplifier, an internal antenna, and now that's about
I still only have 2 bars.
Yeah, well,
they have promised to put up a new Verizon tower here.
By the time we come back at the end of the month here,
a new tower, so
yeah.
we'll
next
know.
week there'll be a tower right next to us.
Yeah,
I think we'll be okay.
We made reservations for a particular RV park just because we know that there's good Verizon there.
All right, where are we? Okay, like us on Facebook. Go to our Facebook, or go to your Facebook and search for Geeks on Tour. My app of the week this week is called Wind Finder. Now, you can hear the wind probably out there. And the reason that this came up is when we visited our friend there, Debbie in Bolins. She had told us that a lot of they actually closed the interstate down a couple of times because of accidents. These big rigs were getting blown off the road or getting tossed around. We actually saw a bad accident coming out of Las Cruces. We saw a semi down in the ditch. I mean, this guy came all the way across all the lanes and plowed down the hill and
literally blown off the road
and buried the nose of that big rig down into the sand. It was ugly. So anyway,
so Debbie made sure that we knew about Wind Finder.
And Wind Finder is great for people who, like regular surfers, sailors, and we know some sailors, but RVers and drone pilots. So I know when it's going to be safe for me to fly my drone, and truckers. So it has forecasts for 40,000, more than 40,000 spots, and observations from regular weather stations and some private weather stations, and you can configure it. It has all kinds of settings. Check it out. It's free. It's available on the App Store for your iOS device, pads, or you can get it for your Android at Google Play. They do have a pay-for version that just gets rid of the advertising, but it does add a few more features if you want to give them some money, and that's always a nice thing to do. So that's my app of the week, Wind Finder. Check it out. There are others out there. This is one that wow. Well, did you learn something? I know I did. Questions for you. If you want to document your travels, you can make custom maps using Google's
Maps.
Okay. It's easy to add pictures to your maps if your pictures are stored where?
Those.
And we can teach you all about that. Google Photos. You can add multiple photos to a map marker, true or false?
True.
Okay. And you can create these My Maps on web.
You can create My Maps on Android. iOS, no, there's no app. But the web on a computer is the best way to do it anyway.
And you can view My Maps on Android, iOS, or web.
All three.
Okay. Now, if you really are determined, you can create these things on an iOS using the browser. But it's not easy.
Yeah, I do not recommend that.
All right. To view your custom maps, you start at Google Maps menu, then A, My Maps, Places, Maps, or C, Share Map.
The answer is B.
B.
Your Places, and then Maps. Minute. I want to show why I love these My Maps so much.
Okay.
We have a page on our blog for all our maps. I have made a map that we've been on the road.
Okay.
So since we are a little ahead of time, I'm going to go show you that.
Okay.
Our blog, geeksontour.spot.com. And here is the tab that says And if you scroll down all the way back, 2004, there was no Google Maps then.
No, you had to draw these lines manually using a graphics program, right?
Yep. And then we started getting Google Maps. And then being interactive. I think this might have been the first one that was interactive, meaning each marker of pictures. There is especially good one. I think that one. Yeah, that was. So every different kind of screen you're on pops up the pictures in a different way. So on a computer screen here, the over on the left-hand side. Ah, when we saw the spruce goose in Oregon.
Yeah, that was cool.
Florida caverns in Florida. So starting with whatever this is, 2014, I think, our maps are interactive. And I just love it. Say, when was the last time we were in North Dakota? South Dakota, we've been a few times. I could just so easily scroll through our maps and see which was the last year we were at a certain.
That's so cool.
So that's why I think Google Maps are important. And if you want to learn them, you can go to Geeks on Tour, tutorial videos, and Google Maps. Will appear in just a second here. Google Maps. We have lots of tutorial videos, one section just on maps.
A lot of stuff in there. Very cool.
Okay.
Oh, looks like we're getting some neighbors here. We'll see how that goes. Well, Chris, what's the webpage that lists all of our weekly shows?
Geeksontour.com. And the menu item is weekly show.
That lists all of our recent newsletters.
Geeksontour.com is blogs and news.
And the benefits you get by joining Geeks on Tour.
You get access to our complete learning library of prepared tutorial videos, like the ones on Google Maps. You can ask questions in our member Q&A forum. You get the show notes for these weekly shows, including direct links, discounts on products and services, and you get all of our ebooks, including Guide to Google Photos.
That's great. All right. Again, we do invite you to become a member and go to our website and click on it. Next time, we should have another live stream, March 5th, a week from today, 2 p.m. Arizona time. That's Mountain Standard Time. And if you have an idea for a topic, let us know. Use the suggestion box there at buttonshow.com. Right. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on What
Does this button do? Keep pushing those buttons.
Keep pushing those buttons.
That's how you learn.
And learn lots.
What does this button do?
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.